Inside the WB Mason Coaches Report here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Tom Verdi, once again with the pleasure to be joined by the head coach of the Hofstra Pride women's soccer team, Simon Riddiough. Coach, thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Now, Coach, last week we were talking about you being a little bit frustrated with your team's 1-0 defeat to Fairfield. This weekend, a little bit different story. You pick up a couple of wins. How important was it for your team to bounce back?
It was good. We had a good week of practice, which I think transpired in the results this week, and we felt more prepared. We felt better ready to compete against Columbia and Albany, and I think it showed in the results. Now,
when you look at the game against Columbia, almost similar numbers, the stats, similar shots to the game against Fairfield. Why was this game different? You were able to come out with a 2-goal victory.
Well, again, I think we had more ball control. I think we emphasised our style a little bit better, and to be honest, we were more clinical in front of the goal. We created better opportunities, and we found a way to score. So overall, it was a much better performance, a much more polished performance, and we're starting to get to where we need to be.
Now, you mentioned also that you were going to use that game against Columbia, as you do a lot of years, as a measuring stick for your team. Where did you think your team was sitting after that game?
I think it's a good place right now. Like I said, after a good week of practice, we put the game plan into action, and we had a good, solid performance. I wouldn't say great, I wouldn't say perfect right now, but it was a solid performance, and it's a nice stepping stone. Columbia, like you said, is a yardstick for us. They're your typical college team, and a very good one, well coached, intelligent, hard working, and to compete and win 2-0 against that kind of calibre team is a good starting point for us.
Now, the 2 goal scorers in that game, kind of at opposite ends of their Hofstra careers. Of course, Laura Green, a player that you wanted to get going in her senior year, and then you have a freshman in Kaylin Dudley getting her first collegiate goal. What was it like to see those two be the 2 goals?
Oh, it's great to see Greenie. We hope she's gonna have a standout year. She had a great year last year, but really didn't have the goals for people to say, wow. She started off well this year, and hopefully she can continue that trend. And Kaylin's worked hard during pre-season. She's put in a lot of effort. She's very versatile. We're going to use her in probably 3 different roles throughout the year, and we threw her up top, and her hard work and speed got her in behind the back four, and she put a nice finish to it. So always good to see the freshmen get on board, and always good to see an aged senior find a goal scoring streak.
Now then we move on to Sunday. You have a match against Albany, a big victory, 5-0 victory, and again it's Laura Green really sparkling, a couple of very long runs leading to goals. Is this the kind of performance that you were waiting for from her?
She can do it. Whether she can do it consistently is the next question for Laura. We set up a game plan for Albany, and we were fortunate that Laura executed it perfectly. She found ways in behind them, she found ways to play in front of them. She was just on fire basically, and she had a very, very good weekend, as many of our team did. And as we said, it's a nice stepping stone. As we move forward to next weekend, it's going to be tough. But it's the place where we want to be right now. I'm quite happy with the team and proud with the performances.
Now, you singled out 3 players in particular, Courtney, Breen, Brittany and Laura Green, as players who needed to step up their goal scoring. What's it like as a coach to see all 3 of them get goals in that game against Albany?
Yeah, it's great. Brittany is almost an unsung hero. She doesn't score. It's the biggest kink in her armour, you would say. But she has to score, and the fact that she took it upon herself and said, I'm going to score today, Simon, and she actually did, is a fantastic breakthrough for Brittany. Courtney Breen's going to get her goals. She'll find ways, whether it's on set piece, whether it's getting forward, she'll find a way. So I'm not concerned about Courtney. She's going to get her 3, 4, 5 goals a year. Laura Green needs to be more consistent, and Brittany Bose needs to step up. And for all 3 of them to make an impact on Sunday was a nice thing to see.
Now, you didn't have Danielle Marino available this weekend, so Tara Kearns went back to that left back position, and back line played pretty well. Really limited other team shots, 2 shutouts. What did you see from their performance this weekend?
They're getting better and better. As we said last week, a back four or a defensive five with a goalkeeper, you need consistency, you need continuity, you need fluidity. And we ironed out some kinks against Fairfield, we worked on some things in the week. We're not there, you know, we've still got some positional issues, we've still got some personnel issues. However, it's a great start to, you know, I think we limited both teams to 11 shots over the weekend in 2 games, so 5.5 shots a game is pretty good. And we had some very good, strong, solid performance throughout that back five. So very happy at the moment, but as we say, we move forward and each team is going to bring a different challenge, and whether we can organise our back four well enough to deal with it is the next step.
That really seemed like you were getting back to that play that you had last year where teams struggled just to get it out of their own end. How important do you think the back line was in that part of the game this weekend?
Very much so. You know, we can be a bit more aggressive at times because we've got some speed back there. And we've got people who believe in the system, and we've got people who are willing to do what needs to be done positionally to be at the right spot. So when you've got that from a back four, it's a fantastic foundation to build the rest of the team on, and it allows the midfielders to take more gambles. It allows the forwards to really believe that, you know, what they're doing is for a purpose. And as a defensive unit, I thought we did very well. You know, again, we've still got some kinks to iron out, but overall, particularly happy with the back four.
Now you've got a road trip down to Texas coming up this weekend. You know, when you look back at last year, you had that 2-game swing in Indiana, came away with 3-1 victories over Purdue and Indiana. What do you remember last year that made that trip so successful?
It was just one of those, it was an eye-opener for our team to go into Big Ten country, you would say, see the facilities at Purdue, see the facilities at Indiana. I think the kids got a huge kick out of it. So I think it was a nice experience from that perspective. And, you know, the game management from those programs is a little bit different to where we are at. You know, they're big bouncy castles and tunnels and screaming cheerleaders and a lot of razzmatazz. And I thought the girls really enjoyed the atmosphere. I can only assume that Texas Tech will be doing the same type of thing. So I think it's a good experience for the players. I think it's a learning curve, and hopefully, you know, if we can play well, you know, win, lose or draw, if we can play well and have a good performance, I'm going to be pretty pleased with this weekend.
Now, what kind of challenges or, you know, how is it different when you have to take your team on the road down to Texas and, you know, you get to be with them basically for the whole weekend?
It's good in certain aspects because you can have a little bit more control of what they're doing at night, what they're eating, the consistency on preparation we can control. The hard thing is you're dealing with the travel. It's a long day Thursday, flying into Memphis and into Lubbock. You know, so you're dealing with the travel aspect, you're dealing with the heat. It's a little bit different to New York, especially this time of year. And then you're also dealing with the size of a school and the tradition and what they will bring over that weekend. So you've got a lot of adversity. But, you know, to win anything in college athletics, you're going to face adversity in all different levels and all different sizes. And if we can, you know, if we can do what we need to do in Texas Tech and against Texas Christian, then we're going to be pretty happy. And I talk about stepping stones all the time, and hopefully it's going to be another stepping stone towards preparation for the CAAs.
Now, Texas Tech looks like the tougher team on paper, finished 52nd in the RPI last year. Of course, they're the host team as well. Are you happy that you're playing them first on Friday, whereas, you know, Sunday you might be a little bit more tired, have a little bit less legs?
It's irrelevant. Texas Tech, it should be a great... I'd rather play on Friday because it's going to be a good atmosphere. The experience is going to be great for the kids. Rob Stone's a tremendous coach. He's got a great reputation. He's coached professionally in the women's game, which not many people can say that on their resume. He's a great guy, and I know his team's going to be prepared, and I know they're going to work hard and give us a very good game, and it's going to be tough. I'd rather play on Friday because, you know, the electricity of a Friday night, their home crowd, is going to be fun. And you know, if we lose lose sight of what college athletics is about, and it's not all about wins and losses, but it's about experiences and student athlete, positive attitudes and enjoyment. And I think we have to play on Friday, and we get the most out of it that way.
Is there any one or two parts of your team or parts of your game plan that you think your team needs to execute to have a successful weekend?
We just have to keep playing like we did this past weekend. We've got to change a couple of things up again, but we'll find a way to make it competitive. One thing I can guarantee you with this team is they're going to give everything they can, mentally and physically. And if that happens, then only good things will happen. Again, wins, losses, draws. At this stage of the season, we're really more concerned about preparation for the CAAs and moving forward as a team. And the adversity which we'll face in Texas will help us along that route.
All right, Coach Simon Riddiough, head coach of the Hofstra women's soccer team. Thanks for joining us inside the WB Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com.
Thanks, Tom.